Yo, what is going on, everyone? Hope you guys have an awesome day so far. And today we are making my 2023 NFL season predictions. We have the tier list here. We have the different categories: 13 plus wins, 10 to 12 wins, 8 to 9 wins, 6 to 7 wins, and then 5 and below. I do want to say a couple things before this starts. This was recorded before NFL Week 1 Sunday, but the Chiefs and Lions game already happened. So I don't know what happened for the rest of the games as of recording this. Just thought I'd let you guys know. But anyways, I'm going to start getting into these. We're just going to pick them at random, starting off with, let's go Panthers. I'm going to put them at the 8 to 9. I think they'll win 8 games. Depends how Bryce Young does. If he goes out and plays well, then they should be pretty solid. But I don't know. I just don't think they're going to be that amazing this year. They can surprise people, though. I think they're a second half team. Alright, now let's just go from left to right. Bengals, I'm going to give the Bengals 12 wins. I know they're a team that starts to do better in the second half of the season. They have a really hard division this year, probably top 3 hardest in the league. So I don't think they'll be undefeated in their division. I expect at least 2 losses. It's going to be a claw fight in the AFC, but the Bengals should still be fine at 12 wins. Patriots, I'm going to say the Patriots win 7 games. I don't know why the logo's like that. That is the Patriots. I just don't know what to expect. I think it's 6 losses to the Jets, Bills, and Dolphins. I think those are all losses. And then they just have a hard schedule, too. And they're not that talented. They always have a good defense, but not great offense, especially from Mac Jones. So 7 wins is good. Saints, I'm gonna say 10 wins for the Saints. They have a pretty easy division, as long as their coach is better. Derek Carr, he got done dirty last season. He has way better weapons, way better defense, way better O-line, way better everything over there in New Orleans. Easier division too, so they should get 10 wins. They might do worse because of their coach. We'll see. Steelers, I'm going to say the Steelers get 10 wins. That seems like a lot, and I know it is, but I'm really buying into the Steelers team. Kenny Pickett is a stud, in my opinion. I think he's going to prove a lot this season, and I think the Steelers under Mike Tomlin are just a great team overall. We have the Niners. I think they win 13 games. 4 free wins against the Rams and Cardinals. Seahawks could always give you a boner. They play the Eagles at some point, a couple hard games as well besides the Eagles, but they should cruise through the regular season, this Niners team. The Cardinals, I have them at 1 win. The game that's going to be their win, I don't know, some meaningless like week 18 game where they already lock up the 1 pick and they're just going to win the game for pride against a team resting all their starters. I don't know. That's just my guess. This team is terrible. They have Josh Dobbs starting, I think, for week 1. So, good luck to you guys, man. You need it. Falcons, I'm going to give 9 wins. I think they're going to do 1 game better than the Panthers. Falcons, they drafted Bijan. Their offense should be really good if Desmond Ridder lives up to the potential. The defense got a lot better, and I think they have by far the best coach in the division in Arthur Smith. But that's just my opinion. I think the Falcons are going to be pretty good this season and could potentially get a wild card spot. I just don't think they're going to win the division with the Saints. The Ravens, this is going to sound like a Ravens hater, but I'm going to give them 9 wins. The same as the Falcons. I know they can be really good, but they can also be pretty bad. I don't know if Lamar is going to play like an MVP. You always got to expect injuries from this guy now. OBJ as your wide receiver 1 scares me. Mark Andrews has been a little bit injury prone the past few seasons, and like injuries have just never been a thing for this team. It's always affected them. So hoping that they don't go through a lot of injuries, because I'm not like a Ravens hater, but it just is expected from previous years. The Bills, I'm not going to give the Bills 13 wins. I'm going to give the Bills 12 wins. I think the Bengals actually get a higher seed than the Bills this season because they have a slightly easier division. I mean, I don't think any game in that division will be easy for the Bills. Like Patriots, you never know what the Patriots can do. Dolphins are always going to give you a hard battle. And the Jets could be, who knows what the Jets can be. But the Bills, I have to give 12 wins for now. The Chicago Bears, I'm going to give 9 wins. I hear some people say 10, some people say 8. Some say like some crazy other stuff. I think 9 is good. I think they can improve by 6 games. Keep in mind that in the second half of the season, almost every single game they lost was like by 1 score. So with an improved team, if Fields improves as a passer and they continue to improve on both sides, who knows? Maybe they don't get unlucky in those 1-score games and are in a way different spot right now. But I definitely think they should be good this season. Not great. Let's not fully ride this hype yet. Cleveland Browns, though, I am riding the hype. I'm on the Cleveland Browns Zaza, giving them 10 wins and a playoff spot. I think Deshaun, as much as I don't really want to say it because of, the thing, I think he's going to have a great season. Nick Chubb, who I have on my fantasy team, multiple leagues, think he's going to go for 1,800 yards. I could see that happening 100%. He's a stud. They went out. They got a lot of new talent. They got Zadarius Smith, Elijah Moore, and they had a pretty good draft, it looks like. So I am on this Cleveland Browns hype train. I think they'll be great this year. Cowboys, I'm going to give the Cowboys 12 wins. It always seems like they get 12 wins now with Micah Parsons. Dak Prescott should be Dak Prescott. Don't know if you want that, but it's going to be good enough. And they just have an improved team from last year. So I think the Eagles, that probably gives you 2 losses. Maybe they win 1. The Giants and Commanders, those can be 2 easy wins if they play their cards right. And the Cowboys just look good. I don't think they'll ever make it to a Super Bowl in the Dak era, but they're good in the regular season. I'll give them that. Broncos, we're going to give the Broncos 9 wins. I do think Sean Payton is going to need like a year, maybe even 2 years before he's fully like into this system and this team. He definitely has a better culture than what Nathaniel Hackett had. And it looks like the Broncos actually look competitive this season. Russell Wilson looks like he knows how to throw a football again. But it just looks like it was from the preseason, so you can't really take everything away from the preseason. I do think they will be good, and their defense will not have to carry them in games again. But I just don't see them winning more than 9 games this season. Lions, I'm going to give the Lions 11 wins. So I did watch Lions Chiefs a couple days ago, and the Lions just straight up outplayed the Chiefs. Like, they took advantage of the receivers on the Chiefs dropping passes, and they turned that into a pick six, a solid game from Jared Goff, and a lot of carries for David Montgomery, which I like. I think David Montgomery is a stud, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jahmyr Gibbs gets worked into the RB1 role. But, yeah, 11 wins. I am full on the Lions team now. 100%. Titans, I'm going to give the Titans 8 wins. I think they'll do slightly better than last season. Besides DeAndre Hopkins, who is great, who did they really get this offseason? I mean, sure, like Peter Skoronski, I get that. But, I don't know. I just don't really know how I feel about this team. They don't really give me a lot of optimism, but you never know. You could see a surprise. I mean, they did it before. Can they do it again? The Packers. I'm going to give the Packers 7 wins. I mean, I think Jordan Love is going to do exactly what the Packers are looking for. He's going to show flashes of why he was taken to replace Rodgers, but it's going to be a struggle. I think he needs better receivers. As it looks like for week 1, Christian Watson's out. Romeo Doubs is questionable. Like, those are his 2 best pass catchers, so he just has no one to throw the ball to. And if they can improve that, I think the Packers will be great again. Texans. What did the Texans win? 3 games last year? I'll give them 5. I don't think this team is going to improve a whole lot from last season because CJ Stroud has not looked great so far. And it's still a very young team, a very into the rebuild team. But you're definitely going to see some improvement, some more explosiveness on defense. I think Will Anderson is going to be generational player on this team. The next J.J. Watt, I might add. But yeah, this Texans team is looking up and up from a year ago. Colts now. Can I give the Colts 5 wins? I was debating 5 or 4, but decided 5. Jonathan Taylor will be back after 4 weeks. Anthony Richardson is just too talented to fully let down, I feel like. He's going to do a lot in the rushing game. Him and Michael Pittman are going to be a stud duo. And when their starters are playing, those defensive guys, DeForest Buckner and Darius Leonard, that's a scary duo on defense to go up against every week. So this Colts team has talent. They just need time. And I don't know if it's like the new idea of putting rookie quarterbacks in right away. It's not a great idea in my opinion. Like, look at the Packers compared to a team like the Bears, and you'll see don't rush your rookie quarterback. But maybe they're onto something or not. I don't know. 5 wins for the Colts. Jaguars, I'm giving the Jaguars 11 wins. That sounds like a lot. I get it. It kind of does. But Trevor Lawrence, I think, can easily win the MVP. I mean, look at how he did the second half of the season. They went and beat Dallas. That was an insane game. They came back against the Chargers, obviously. And they kept it pretty close with the Chiefs. I mean, he was doing everything, Trevor Lawrence, for the Jaguars. Now they have a legit wide receiver 1 in Calvin Ridley. Christian Kirk is going to be a great wide receiver 2. Travis Etienne should improve off of his first full season. It feels weird that this guy's already on year 3, Travis Etienne, but he is. He just seems so much younger than he actually is. But I think Trayvon Walker continues to improve. This Jags team is just looking great, and they have an easy division. Chiefs, I was going to give the Chiefs 14 wins for the season. I'm bumping it down to 13. After watching that Lions game, I don't want to drop them down to like 10 wins or something crazy like that. I'm going to give them 13. I just don't think they're going to have the best record in the NFL. Like, if Travis Kelce, you never know if Travis Kelce will miss again. Like, what if this is a more serious injury than we think, and he misses 3 weeks? That could possibly be 3 losses, because they play the Jags at some point. The Broncos should be better. Chargers are always going to be a tough game. And Raiders, you never know what the Raiders can do. So I'm not going to drop them a lot after 1 week, but it does scare me a little bit to see how bad those Chiefs receivers were for Mahomes. The Rams, I'm going to give the Rams 6. I think they have 2 free wins against the Cardinals. And with Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford, and Aaron Donald on your team, you can't lose. You can't win only 5 games again. I feel like if they're healthy, and they're playing together, you can't only win 5 games. It's just not going to happen. But with everything else on the roster, I have to give them 6. Like, Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp, and Matthew Stafford are all getting up there in age. It's just not a recipe for success in LA. They sold everything for a Super Bowl. It paid off, but now they're bearing the consequences. 6 wins. Chargers, I'm staying off the Chargers a bit this season. I'm going to give them 9 wins. Actually, no, I'm going to give them 10. I feel like I can't put them on the tier with the Bears, the Broncos, and the Panthers. No offense to them. But the Chargers, new offensive coordinator, that might be the thing that helps this team. I think it's the head coach. Once he's gone and they get a better guy, then we'll put this team among the best. But I don't know. I just don't think this Chargers team is going to win a Super Bowl. I remember we had such high hopes for them last year, and they kind of were just quiet for most of the season, and then had a big choke against the Jaguars. So I don't know what to expect. I gave them 10, though. I feel like that's a solid prediction. Dolphins are an interesting one, because if their players stay healthy, I want to give them 13 plus, but you just never know. I'm going to give them 11, though. I think the Dolphins are going to be the 3rd best team. Yes, you heard that right. 3rd best team in the division, even though with 11 wins. I think they'll take a loss to the Bills and a loss to the Jets. I think those 3 teams are going to be just clawing with each other for the season. But Dolphins are likely the most talented team in the NFL. I mean, they're the fastest team in the NFL and improve their roster at the offseason. So they should be pretty good. Vikings, I'm going to give 9. I don't think they'll regress too much. I mean, 13 wins was kind of crazy. They had some luck. But now I feel like it's just going to be the opposite, where good team, bad roster, but last season not a great roster and great finish. But they improved the roster. I know they lost some guys, but they overall improved this team. But I just gotta give them some losses because they don't have that luck again. I'll tell you that much. They won't have that luck again. Anyway, Giants. I'm big on the Giants this season, but I don't want to be too big on them. But these are my predictions. So I'm going to give the Giants 10 wins. I mean, they went out, they got Darren Waller. They gave Daniel Jones so many new weapons to throw the ball to. If they only win 9 games again, it will either be really tough division or they underperformed. And I think they're just not going to underperform. I'm into this team. They got Isaiah Simmons recently on defense too. There's just nothing to hate about this Giants roster. I know Daniel Jones brings some questions, but I think he's gonna play like $160 million man, like he is now. The Jets, I was hinting at some Jets love earlier in the video with the Dolphins and the Bills, but I'm giving this Jets team 13 wins. Sounds crazy, but let me try to convince you over to the Jets side. So, the Jets won 7 games last year with Zach Wilson at quarterback. They were close in a lot of games. Like the Bills game that they lost, it was somewhat close. Patriots game they lost was because they literally cannot score. It was 3-3 and they got a punt return touchdown, the Patriots. The Vikings had a close game with them. Just there were so many close games for this Jets team that they lost. And I feel like with Aaron Rodgers, with Allen Lazard, Randall Cobb, McCole Hardman, those are all just the receivers. And you got Dalvin Cook too. I mean, this team is a lot better from last season. And obviously the main thing is quarterback. But they improved at the other positions. So I think that they will pull out those close games. In my opinion, I think Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he's obviously the most experienced, but I think that experience compared to guys like Josh Allen, who is still pretty young in his career, same with Tua and same with Mac Jones, I think Aaron Rodgers, being the veteran, is going to win them more games. So I think the Jets get 13 and they win the division. Raiders are up next. I mean, I don't know what this team is doing. 6 wins. Jimmy Garoppolo is your quarterback, and you don't have the 49ers team. That's really all I can say. The reason why I'm not giving them 5 and below, Jimmy Garoppolo is in a very similar situation compared to San Fran, just with a terrible defense and a terrible coach. Like, he has a top 5 running back in the game, and he gets a top 5 receiving core in the game. Okay, the 49ers isn't, but Ravers probably is with Devontae. Jacoby Myers on the run for him. Tight end, they have Michael Mayer. But that's really all I can say about this team. I don't know too much else. Seahawks, I'm going to give 10 wins. I think Geno Smith regresses a little bit, but the improved roster carries the team to more wins. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Seahawks traded up in the draft for an intriguing quarterback prospect. I know Geno's a stud, but I wouldn't be surprised if they tried trading him after 2023 to get whatever value they can for him and then trade up in the draft for a quarterback. I mean, or you just want a guy sitting behind Geno for a year or two. Either or works. Or maybe just Geno balls out again. You never know. Moving on to the final stretch here, we have the Bucks. Gonna give them 5 wins. I don't really see a lot of terrible teams this season besides the Cardinals. I don't think the Buccaneers will do that terrible. They just don't have that great of a roster compared to other teams. And it's just how NFL works. Like, you need to have a great roster to win games, and the Bucks just don't have that anymore. Tom Brady gone, Ryan Jensen out for the year. I just don't have faith in this Bucks team going from Tom Brady to Baker Mayfield. The Eagles, I'm going to give the Eagles 14 wins. I think the Eagles will finish as the number 1 overall team in the league. They kind of got robbed of it last year. The Chiefs got it last year because, I mean, in the regular season, Eagles lost Jalen Hurts. Postseason, the terrible holding call. But I think this team is just more improved. They're younger now with Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter. Like, that D-line, you could put Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and then you have at linebacker, I forgot his name, Nakobe Dean, yeah. And then you could have, like, Brandon Graham on the other side of Nolan Smith. It's just nasty how well this team is built. Howie Roseman, whatever he's got on these other teams, I want it. Anyway, the final team for this video is the Commanders, giving them 9 wins. Sam Howell has really impressed me throughout the preseason, and this team is just looking solid. I don't think they'll win any division games, but that's okay. They're going to improve, and I can see them realistically winning a Super Bowl within the next 10 seasons. Sounds crazy, but the new ownership compared to Dan Snyder, that can really do some stuff for you guys. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed today's video. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already. This is the whole prediction. Let me know what surprised you in the comments below. Anyways, much love, guys, and have a great rest of your day or night. Peace, guys.